What's up, my peoples of the internet? My peoples of the cell phone world? Are you all digital kids? I'm a digital kid. I would pick Digimon over Pokemon any day.
You shut your mouth.
Any gosh darn day.
You shut your mouth.
If I did Digimon over Pokemon, I would Digi any day.
Stop talking.
I would Digi any day.
Stop talking. You stop talking.
Dayman's a little butthurt because Digimon's better than Pokemon.
No, I think you're a little butthurt about what happened previously.
Previously on Digimon, Dayman was a butthole.
No. You got your butt kicked by Dark
Dude,
Alice.
whatever, man. I won 1 of 3. That's all that matters. And that one was glorious.
I like you.
Okay? You're like those orcs that won in like the first 15 minutes of the Fellowship of the Ring. I'm the last battle when the ghost dudes show up.
Except you won like the middle match.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Those books are non-canonical anyway. Everybody knows that Return of the King happens in the second book and the Two Towers is at the end. It's the only way it makes sense. Okay, guys, so we did an unboxing of the TTW boxes that we got in the last couple of videos. If you guys saw them, it was the Chronicles of the God packs.
Yeah.
Chronicles of the God boxes. And one of the cards we actually got was a full art Dark Alice. So this guy was
exactly what I wanted.
And actually, we were saying like, hey, we got that Uber Valentina, and we're like,
Yeah.
dude, we need to get all 5 of the rulers, and we did. So
We
Damon, come over here. So Damon made this deck, and we said like, you know what, we'll see if we can make a deck profile for all of those guys because we never actually got into that set. Like we had a few cards from it just to make some of our other decks, but we never bought cards from that set. So this is our deck profile for Dark Alice. Come on down. Do you want me to read out what she does?
Yeah. Well, the ruler set first. So Judgment for 0. You can only do it if you have removed 3 or more cards from the opponent's graveyard. Is it just from the... Yeah, that's the only way to do it. With this card's ability of pay 1 black, remove target card in your opponent's graveyard from the game.
Cool. And then her flip side, which is a full art for anybody who cares.
Her flip side comes with target attack or precision as it is now. When this card enters the field, you pick a number, and then you blow up all Resonators of that chosen number, which is amazing. It's
so bad, dude. Actually, in a playtest we did against I guess it was the Vlad deck that we had, but I was using Feasting as the commander for it. I had 3 Odins on the field, and he thought he was going to lose.
I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I look at her, and I'm like, I'm a dummy. And then I flip it, and I'm like, 6.
At which point,
Odins are dead.
I was actually pretty close to committing murder. It was the closest I've come to committing murder in my life so far.
I was like, oh, wow, I'm a dummy. Flip it and do it.
Okay, so she's nuts.
And then also there's more. So the gods
but wait, there's more.
So the gods art ability is pay 2 black, J/Resident your opponent's control gained -2/-2 until, or just flat out just -200 -200, which is really good against Feasting.
Yeah.
I don't honestly know if that sticks around after she dies. I think it goes away. I'm not sure. Search your deck for a card named Schrodinger,
Chill out.
Fallen Black Cat, and put it into play. So it's the Regalia that goes with her. It's a 3 cost, so it's nice to get it out for free. We'll get to that later, but yeah, that's what she does.
Cool.
So to start off, I play 2 of Masterfeja's favorite card ever, Laevateinn, the Demon Sword. So gives swiftness, tap, target J ruler. J ruler gets +2, or deals, if it would deal damage, it deals that much +200 instead. You can banish it at any time to give it imperishable, or you can banish another. You have one in play, you banish another one, or discard one from your hand, produce red.
Yeah.
Don't ever use it for that in
We
this deck.
know, because like there's almost nothing that's just colorless mana.
Yeah.
But hey, I just had a thought, right? So, do you know how these things are like super shiny, and this is actually a full art one, which is super cool. I bet you if I put this outside, even a crow wouldn't pick it up because they don't make their nests out of garbage.
Okay. I knew you were gonna say that. Anyways,
so we're running 2 of these in the deck.
And then we also have 1 Deathscythe, the Life Reaper. So just to slow down the opponent, if they're running like Swiftness Ruler or whatever.
Yeah, that and it's just another one of those, like, if you leave it on tap the previous turn, you can tap, untap, tap for +4/+4.
So, first hand control card we use is Nameless Mist, so it removes a non-resonator card from their hand. Something gets a +1/+1 counter.
Yeah, and Damon actually aptly said when we were talking about the construction of this deck that half the deck is creature aggression and the other half is hand control. So this
Hand
is
control / like there's one that just does minus to a creature.
just control in general,
Yeah.
just field in hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're running 4 of the Nameless Mist, super good.
So we're running 4.
And actually, you probably use them as a turn 1 thing, but I don't think you ever use your 1/1 counters.
No, not
when you're
usually.
facing. So
But I usually try and get stuff out of your hand like right away. So 4 Scorn of Dark Alice, the first time I've ever had these actually.
yeah.
So look at target player's hand, remove a resonator from it, put it into the grave.
Yeah, and for anybody who didn't see our previous video, actually, if you position your thumb just right, it's actually Scorn of Da.
Duh. You'd have to watch the other video.
All praise Da.
Yeah.
I'll put a link at the ends of those videos. So we're running 4 of these.
Yeah. Next we have 4 Blood of the Mikage.
This
Super great.
You know what? I'm not even gonna do the usual joke about such and such card is the greatest card, and if you don't use it, you're a dummy.
Yeah.
Like just straight up, this is a really good card. It's a 1-drop. Essentially, you've got a guaranteed kill, and it works fantastically with another shadow card that we have in this deck, the Elisabeth. It's a really good card, and honestly, you should run it. And if you don't know how to play this game. We run 4 of these. You should too.
Okay. Next we have 4 Jeanne d'Arc,
Jeanne d'Arc.
Shadow Princess of Purity. All right. It's a 3/3, 300 shadow.
And she is from the more Poutine part of Canada.
Because French Canada is best Canada. Just kidding.
We're running 4 of them.
Whenever a resonator on the opponent's side dies, rested resonator, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest
Whenever-
target, resonator, your opponent controls. So, I mean, with how many kill things you've got in this thing, especially with Blood of Mikage, you will have space-time anomaly later and a bunch of other stuff. Like,
Yeah.
this thing's amazing. Like, you're pretty much just crippling your opponent's field in case they've got, like, big blockers or something, so...
Yeah, exactly. So the next card.
Oh, and actually, a cool thing about this one is, unlike the Schrodinger that we're going to show you guys later, it's just whenever a resonator dies, it doesn't have to hit the grave, so it works with tokens too, right?
No. Whenever a resonator is put into a graveyard from your opponent's field. But technically tokens hit the grave.
Yeah, they hit the grave, right?
Yeah.
So...
But next we're doing 4 Night's Shade. It's a 2-drop shadow, 3/3. Whenever this card is put into a graveyard from the field, the opponent banishes a non-shadow resonator.
Yeah. So if you're...
Everyone does technically, but the only thing we have in here is shadows. So
Yeah. The only thing that sucks is that we don't really have a sack mechanic in this. So...
we do. Laevateinn can sack it.
Oh yeah, we do. Okay, so Levitin, Blood of the
Blood of
Mikage,
yeah.
and then we can just use these as chump blockers and essentially get rid of whatever big bad dude they had on the field that they're hoping to save for later,
Yeah.
or something that has like a continuous ability that they don't want to die. So we're running 4 of these dudes. I'm kind of like schmeh about this card. I would have liked to have like a what's the name of that card? The pressure one?
Unseen Pressure.
Unseen Pressure. It's a 1-drop, but
This
It-
is better.
yeah, it's a shadow, and actually when we have the Dark Faria out, it becomes a decently strong creature too.
Yeah, which is the next card. We have 3. I could see running 4, but I only have 3. Dark Faria, so it's a 5/5 shadow. Has an awakening of 2 black, so when it enters, you can pay the 2 extra black.
And
if
you're
you want.
almost always going to.
Yeah,
Like almost
so
always
I
going
consider it
to.
a 4-drop basically. So when it enters, if you pay the awakening, you get to destroy target resonator. Gives other shadows +2/+2, and it has whenever it deals damage, you gain that much life.
That, and just like even from when I first started playing Force of Will, and I was thinking of actually making a shadow deck, but I never got around to doing it.
Same.
I thought nice.
Yeah.
Bones. I always thought when I found this card online that she had one of the coolest arts out of any like card design I had seen to that point for this game. Like she just looks so cool. And actually at that point I didn't even know that Faria was like a ruler and that she had like a light version. So I was just like, man, she's a dark crazy girl and she's gonna mess up your world.
Yeah. Badass.
So we're running 3 of these.
Yeah. I could see you running 4 though.
Yeah, we just didn't get the 4th one when we did the box opening, which kind of blows, but
So
whatevs.
running 3 Schrodinger Cat and Flux, so it's a shadow, white and black, 1/6. Whenever a resonator is put into a graveyard in your opponent's field, remove that card from the game. If you do, put a 5/5 shadow resonator into your field. When this card leaves your field for non-field zone, you banish all shadow tokens you control.
Yeah, so it's a double-edged sword. We wanted to put other cards that produce shadow tokens, but if we did, then if this thing died, it counteracts that. Yeah. It's super good for putting like really big beefy dudes in the way. And again, if you've got your Faria out, those dudes are 7/7s.
Yeah.
And
or you can banish them to Leviathan to untap,
or banish them to
get
Leviathan.
more damage in.
Yeah, you can like swing with them, do the damage, and then sack them to use Leviathan to make your Dark Alice over here be a total boss.
Yeah. So we're running 3 space-time knowledge, so you can use each one twice with Remnant, 1 from hand, 1 from grave.
This is one of Dayman's favorite cards. Yeah. Straight up. Anytime that I was running black in any deck, you'd be like, hey, splash in blue and put in one of these.
Yep. So give target J/Resonator -5/-5 until end of turn, draw a card.
Also, is that Lucifer on there?
Yeah.
Okay, so would you say that he can be your
angel or your devil?
I'd say both.
Yeah.
At the same time. Maybe not even. We're running 3 of these.
Yeah.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not even funny anymore. I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let Dayman do everything.
Dark Machina. So he's a shadow as well. 4/4 for 3. So when this card enters your field, search your main deck for a card with no attribute and put it in your hand. So a colorless card. So your Regalia basically. So I use that to look for a Leviathan. Usually, like 9 times out of 10. That odd time, if I already have a Leviathan in hand, I'll search for Deathscythe. If I'm playing against somebody who has like a swiftness ruler or whatever. So he's really handy.
Yeah, 3 of these. Honestly, you should never be using these to look for your Schrodinger because you can just do that with your God's Art.
Yeah, we only have 2. So next is Schrodinger.
Man, I'm so lucky with those.
Let's see. Schrodinger, Fallen Black Cat. So it's a 3 cost. So with the God's Art, you pay 2, you search for it and put it into play. So that's really nice. If you have 5 cards removed, you get +5/+5 on your ruler. If you have 10, you get swiftness target attack, but it already comes with target attack, and we already have Leviathan.
That just seems so redundant.
I don't understand.
Do that?
So you can put it with a different ruler if you play with something else or whatever. Like say you put that in Alisaris or whatever, where you're removing cards on purpose. And,
oh yeah, because it doesn't use any like ruler-specific cards.
So like if you're playing against Alisaris, who's removing cards from his own deck on purpose, you could like sideboard that in to get a buff and get extra whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But anyways, so we only have 2. Usually I'll end up with 1 in hand and then not play it and just use God's Art to go get the other one.
Yeah.
2 seems to be the right balance with it.
Yeah, and it helps fix our mana too.
Yeah. And then we have 3 Elisabeth, Shadow. What is it? Elisabeth, Shadow, Princess of Blood. So it's a 2/6, 2/8. Move your thumb. 2/9. So whenever Resonators is put into a graveyard from your opponent's field, recover this card, and it gets +400 attack until end of turn. It's perfect to put Blood Mikage on because it gets precision.
So
you
good.
Put that buff on it, and then you swing into 1 Resonator, it dies. You get a buff, you untap, you swing into another one, it dies, you untap, you swing into another one. The only way I could see that being better is you're playing Gil Alamat, where you have Blood Mikage and this like shield of whatever, where it's like pay 1 white, target Resonator cannot be destroyed until end of turn.
Mm-hmm.
So you play that, and you just have it for the turn, an indestructible Elisabeth with Blood Mikage, and you can awaken that white card to make it so that any creature dealt damage by Elisabeth this turn would just die.
Yeah.
So it's just like that would just clear the board and then smash them for a lot. But in this deck, it works fine with just Blood Mikage.
Cool.
So yeah.
Stones?
That's about it. Oh yeah, stones. So we're running 3 Magic Stone of Heaven's Rift, white-black.
Okie doodles.
Yeah. Then we're running 3 Magic Stone of Dark Death, black-blue.
Nice.
And then we're running 4 Shadows Memoria. So it's her special stone. So if you're not playing Dark Alice, it comes in rested. Tap for black. Whenever a shadow enters the field, target Resonator gets -100 power or attack until end of turn, which you could use that for playing like Unseen Pressure to like it destroys. It's a 1 black chant, destroy something with 400 or less attack. You can use that, but there's only 4 of these stones, and like
yeah,
I don't know.
And I really like that. And actually, there's going to be those cards. I think I already talked about this in the unboxing video, but there's going to be those cards from the new set coming out. The one with the Mikage based cards. It's like, hey, if it has 200 or less, destroy target creature or whatever.
Yeah.
So these might be useful, maybe, but they're gonna come in tap.
Yeah, but that's
so...
only if the shadow enters and all that. So like,
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
wanting to play more so with Unseen Pressure, I could see you going with like 4 Space-Time Anomaly, getting rid of Schrodinger, so it's just a black-blue deck, and like doing something like that, because Schrodinger is like, you don't need it, it's just nice to have.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? But, yeah. It works fine this way. I could see you changing it to straight black-blue. Yeah.
Yeah. So this deck kicked the living bejesus out of the Odin-based deck. And like there was a bunch of times where I was hesitating on when to use counters, so that might have changed things a little bit, but it's a consistently good deck. And honestly, if it wasn't for all the life gain that I had in that deck with the Foment of the World Trees and that one Schrodinger thing that does a bunch of damage and you gain that much life, I probably would have been taken out a lot faster. I don't know how it would hold up against like burn decks per se, but with all the hand control, he just wasn't seeing any hand control for some reason against those matchups when he was doing it against my Nyarlathotep.
Nyarlathotep.
Cool, that one. When we were playtesting it against that, even with like Flame King shouts and with lightnings and all, that one Gil Lapis knew like do 400 damage to target creature, 500 to opponent. It was doing pretty well, and I think you won all those matchups too.
Yeah, it's like I saw the hand control then. I didn't really see it in one of our matches, but I saw it in I saw a few in like the other two. The ones I won, I saw hand control. The one I lost, I didn't.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have hand control first, like early game. Like your one drop wants to be like either Scorn or Nameless Mist. Turn 2, you could be like another one of those and pay a black to remove a card from the grave, and then whatever, like save your. This is more of like a mid-range kind of deck. Like you slow them down early game and then you play your stuff and like beat them down mid-range late game.
Yeah, and like, would you say that like most times you're winning with Resonators or with your J Ruler?
With the J Ruler most of the time, but Elisabeth is definitely able to beat some faces in.
Okay, guys, that was the deck profile for this. It's an older ruler. She's gonna get rotated out pretty soon.
In
but
September,
you know what? We bought the box.
Yeah.
We got her full art, and I love the art on this.
Yeah,
I can't say more about it than that. It's just like it looks so good.
Yeah, competitively, like if you're playing in tournaments, it gets rotated, but I don't think we'll give a shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
In
local
our
shops and like our play group is still gonna play it, so we're probably gonna be using this deck. We might even throw it in a couple of challenge videos. We just didn't record any of the play test stuff just because it was still a work in progress, and it's probably gonna change a little bit until the next time they actually see us playing this deck.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun making this deck. I love this J Ruler, and I'm glad that we actually made something that was relevant as opposed to every single time that I want to rip my face off when I try to make Resard work, and he just doesn't. Because I think secretly he just sucks. It's not even.
Is she holding Deathscythe, or is that something else?
I think it's something else, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody actually had Deathscythe. I haven't seen him in any art other than just that card. Anyway, guys, like, subscribe if you guys have your own shadow decks. Just give us like a deck list or give us a link to your videos. We'd love to see it, and tune in for other stuff. We're probably going to see if we can make a deck for the other 4 rulers we got in that box,
except for Reflect,
because there's only really one good way to make it,
and we don't want to do that.
No, because it's dumb.
Yeah,
actually, you know what, what's his face, Sylvia is pretty much the same thing too.
Yeah, well, Sylvia, we already know somebody that has a good Sylvia deck.
Yeah, we'll just ask our buddy to show his.
Yeah, and then for Valentina, you need all the other 7 kings or whatever. So, like, I think we have. I don't know if we have all of them.
I think you do.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
No, not. Maybe not all of them.
We've got Resonators. We've got that one fire dude.
Arla.
We've got Arla. We've got that one chick, Faria. We've got the machine dude. Do we have the machine dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got Machina.
We got Machina. And then what else? Who else is missing? Valentina. She's got herself. And then there's one more. Who's the 7th? Who's the 7th king? Green, the Persia.
Is Persia?
Yeah, she's one of the 7 kings. She's a beast king.
Is she?
Yeah, dude, she was in the starter decks. She's one of the kings. She's the green king.
Is she?
Yeah, dude. Red king's the demon sword. White king's the queen chick. Red king's the machine dude. Which is technically colorless. Black is the Resard, and green is Persia, and blue is Valentina.
So let's make that deck and make it better by not having Resard.
Brutal. Okay, guys. Yeah, cool. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace soup.